Hi again from Seahawks headquarters, Gregg and Dave Boling on a Sunday, a non-game Sunday, one of the last here of the season, of the year, before the Seahawks games get real in a couple weeks. Practice today in shorts, shoulder pads, and helmets. The news of it really came after practice, I thought. Cliff Avril spoke about the hit from behind that knocked Tony Romo both out of the game and out potentially for 10 weeks now. Romo, of course, the news yesterday that the Dallas Cowboys are going to be without him for up to 10 weeks because of a broken bone in his back. Avril said he's reaching out to the Cowboys quarterback, has not talked to him yet, but is in the process of doing so, and that he's really surprised about the flack he's gotten on social media from Cowboys fans for what Avril said was just a football play, pursuing a quarterback from behind right before Romo went down and looked like he was about to try to slide. No penalty on the play, and the Cowboys have said they didn't think it was dirty at all.
And what's important to note, I think, when Cliff Avril says something, you can kind of take it to the bank. He's one of the very decent human beings out here. You know, he spent so much time last year, you know, helping earthquake victims in Haiti, and he's a very, very solid guy. He's never been a dirty player. You never see any hint of that. And as we watched that play, it didn't look. He just managed to catch Romo in a vulnerable position, and Romo, as much as he must hate coming to Seattle, is not a kid anymore, and you hate seeing somebody get hurt, and someone who's been through so many injuries and the pain of rehab having to go through it again. So it was just a sort of a quirky play, and it's nice to hear Avril, though, really show the sportsmanship and, you know, and the care for a fellow professional.
To that end, Avril said he talked to Romo as he was walking off the field. I saw that. I also saw Richard Sherman go across the line of scrimmage out of the Seahawks huddle to talk to Romo and pat him on the backside. Avril said he didn't hear Romo yell or scream, or it didn't seem like a particularly gruesome or painful injury, and he was surprised at the diagnosis, which it sounds like the Cowboys were too.
And for people who question, you know, I've seen some people questioning Romo's toughness, and he has played so many times with bones sticking out, and just the pain and exertion of rehabbing time after time after time has to have a real cumulative effect. But after he came out, you knew he was in pain. He was throwing the ball on the sidelines, and he was saying, hey, I can go back in the game. And I think that's a real testament to the toughness of Tony Romo and just about everybody who's out on that field.
He played through two broken collarbones last year. In fact, came back between two broken collarbones. One other thing Avril said, it was pretty funny, is that somebody asked him about what he expected in the final preseason game Thursday at Oakland, and he said, I really, 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 I think it was 4 reallys, hope I don't have to even dress for that game. He said he doesn't know if he's reached that status yet of the Seahawks veterans, but he, like many of the veterans, if they play at all, it won't be much. David, we've talked about for this whole month about the vibe and the togetherness aspect and how it's translated on the field, maybe not so much in the preseason games yet, but Pete Carroll spoke about that today.
He did, and I think it's something that we've talked about, and it has been noticeable. The Seahawks, if you've seen any other NFL teams practice, their practices are different. If you watch the Hard Knocks, you'll see so much different tempo and attitude. It's all positive. People are constantly running, and when free agents come in from other teams, the first thing you hear them say is, I'm not used to practicing at this tempo. Everything is full speed. Now, they're not doing a lot of contact or hitting, but they're always on the run, and there's never dull moments. There's never any time when somebody is just standing around. And so Pete was asked, is this even better this year? And he said, you know what? Everybody's in. We've had distractions the past couple of years, and so do you feel this team is ahead of where they were in the last couple of years? He said absolutely. He said, we're working on the football stuff, of course, but we're also trying to grow as a team. At the start of the season, we want to be at a more connected level than we've been, and we are. And I think that's an important thing for him to say. Now, he is Mr. Happy and blows sunshine at every possible opportunity, but confidence and optimism is contagious on this team as well. And I think this one is certainly based in fact, at least according to what the perception that most observers have had of this camp.
2 days before the first cuts down from 90 to 75, Pete Carroll said the team will not announce those until Tuesday's deadline, 1 p.m. Pacific time. I can tell you there may be some veteran names that you'd be surprised to hear about in those cuts. The other injury issues, Silver Saliga, the defensive tackle, Pete Carroll has all but said he's not going to make the team now. He reiterated that today. He's just not getting back. Kason Williams remains out with a hamstring injury. He's been sidelined for weeks now, and it's jeopardizing his roster spot. Rookie Jerron Reed, the defensive tackle who was in line to start while Jordan Hill was out, he's still out with a toe/ankle injury. And Pete Carroll said he won't play in Oakland. Neither will rookie tight end Nick Vannett. And Vannett's had a high ankle sprain, and they are both going to be racing against it, the coach said, to play next week in the opener September 11th against Miami.
And while there's depth at defensive tackle to fill in for Reed, tight end is getting to be a kind of a question. Jimmy Graham isn't back yet, and there's speculation on how soon he'll be back. Nick Vannett with the high ankle sprain, which it can be 4, 6, 8 weeks. Who knows how long that'll be. So Brandon Williams has been sidelined on and off too. So McAvoy was getting time at tight end and showing some promise. I think certainly an example of his versatility. So now it gets to be really, really iffy as we've only got 2 weeks till games.
And Carroll reiterated that the injury that McAvoy had in the game on Thursday was a tweaked groin, but it may keep him out for this week. He said he was doubtful at best right now, questionable at best, to McAvoy to play at Oakland on Thursday. That would hurt his chances of making the team as an undrafted free agent. They just moved him, the Seahawks did, from wide receiver to tight end last week. We'll be here all week, and Thursday night I'll be in Oakland for the preseason finale. Thanks for watching.